Here in Elmina Castle, we have the first Catholic church, as the Portuguese built it in 1596. And also, this castle is the oldest, the biggest and the largest in the world when we talk of transatlantic slave trade. It's also the first important European building ever to be built not in Ghana, but the whole of tropical Africa, Africa south of the Sahara. Along the coast of our country, over 50 of forts, lodges and castles were built, but today 16 of them are still standing with 3 castles. This castle, Cape Coast Castle, and Christianborg Castle, Usukra, which was the former seat of government of Ghana, have been designated by UNESCO as World Heritage Site. And also in Elmina Castle, we have the Protestant Church. We have prisons where Prempe, the king of Ashanti, was kept, and also where Yasantua, the Queen Mother of Ejuso, was also kept. We have the governor's residence, we have the dungeons for women, we have dungeons for men. We had 600 men, 400 women. And we have the original door of no return in Elmina Castle. We have the European cells in Elmina Castle. We also have the condemned cells for the Africans in Elmina Castle. In Elmina Castle also, we have the compass that is in front of the castle. And we have 2 separate moats, inner and outer. The outer moat, it was filled with sea. And the door there is a drawbridge, so when it is lifted, you cannot come to the castle, you fall into the moat. And we also have cannons upstairs. And you also have the cannonball, which is used to punish the women who refused or resisted rape. We have 2 buttresses, and there are also iron rails on it, where the police were climbing it up and down for exercise. You also have the balcony where the governor will be to select the woman for her to be sexually abused in his bedroom. And also you have another balcony where the governor stood to address the soldiers in the courtyard. We have a triangle and a circle. It was made by the Dutch, and the Dutch are saying that in the spiritual world, triangle means perfection, and the circle means eternity, like the ring. You have a compass in front of the castle, and they put stake in the middle, and they use the shadow to tell time in the olden days. And you have the old Elmina village, which was bombarded by the British in 1873, when they told the local people to hand over their arms, which they refused. And we have Fort Jago, where the Dutch soldiers were to protect or to watch on the land if enemies were coming. It is only for that was built in Ghana for military purpose. Yeah, people do visit Elmina Castle for educational purpose, religious purpose, and also to pay homage or pilgrimage to their ancestors. So these are the 3 major things that people come here to see. Before, up there, that was when the Portuguese were worshipping with the local people. But when the Dutch first attacked them in 1596, they abandoned that place, they came to the main courtyard here and built their church. And it was this same point that the locals assisted the Dutch from Mori. So what happened was that the previous 2 attacks in 1596, 1625 came from the seaward section, where the Portuguese defense there was very strong. So in 1637, some of the local people in the village became fed up with the Portuguese here. So they themselves went to Mori, and Mori is a village 20 kilometers east of this place, where the Dutch had then built a fort called Fort Nassau, where they were residing, assisted the Dutch to an inland route up there called Hail Jago. So the Dutch started attack from the seaward section again, directing the attention of the Portuguese over there. Just when the Portuguese thought they were on top, they had bombardment coming from the inland section. So on the 3rd day, they could no longer fight. So to be precise, on the 29th of August, 1637, the Dutch took control over the castle. And even a question to ask is, why did the local people worry themselves to assist the Dutch to fight the Portuguese here? One, the Portuguese tempered with the scale that they were using to measure, therefore exploiting the local people here. the locals were not happy about the transatlantic slave trade. And 3, when the Dutch were in that village, they were still trading in gold, ivory, and others. So they thought by helping the Dutch to fight the Portuguese here, would bring an end to the slave trade. But surprisingly, when the Dutch took over, were they better? No, they were the opposite. They further extended the place to contain more slaves. In Elmina Castle, in between the male's dungeon, you have the Catholic Church, the Portuguese church. And on top of the women's dungeon, you have the Protestant church. And in between the male courtyard, or the male's dungeon, you have the Portuguese church. So Christianity and slavery going at the same time in the castle. I'm surprised. It's very, very contradictory. But sometimes when he asked, they justify whatever they did from the Bible. They are saying that in the Bible, Noah was a palm wine tapper. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Japheth, and Shem. One day Noah got drunk. Ham went and saw his father naked. Instead of Ham to cover the father, he laughed. So it was Japheth who came and covered him. So when the father woke up, he cursed Ham. That's all he descended to be slaves. So they are saying that we are Ham and they are Japheth. It is still going on. It has not changed. It's still going on. It's in a different form. Because even for me, robbery is not in the church. That is my opinion. Robbery is not in the church. They will extort money from the vulnerable, do all kinds of things, while the vulnerable always continue suffering. So that is, if you are a vulnerable and you are in a church and you need help, I think the elders of the church should be able to help you, and not for you to be suffering all the time. So I think that is my explanation.